Hello everyone, welcome to another video. And today I want to talk about a subject that is relevant to a lot of people, including myself at one point in my life. And I'm talking about us being an active players in our lives and not victims. Us playing an active role in what happens in our lives and not being victims. And I will explain the mentality behind it at first. So being a victim means that you blame everybody else and everything else on what happens in your life but you. It can be on whatever happens to you. You know, if something bad happens to you, you blame life. If you're failing a test, you blame the test and the teacher. If you have bad relationship with your parents, you blame them for it. If you cannot lose weight, you blame everybody else. You get where I'm going to with that idea. So this is basically what it means to be a victim towards life. And I know this subject is a little bit sensitive to a lot of people, but what I'm going to say here today is from experience and only from my own experience. And this is how I looked in my life, and I'm telling my story about it. So I'll start with saying that most of my life I had the victim mentality. Growing up, I was really a really fat kid, overweight, and I was blaming everyone, you know. I was blaming my parents for letting me eat so much. I was blaming my teachers for not protecting me when someone would bully me. Or I would blame the people who would bully me for bullying me. And I would just say, oh, everybody's so wrong and everybody's so mean, you know. And fair because I was a kid, you know. But then I grew up also in my more adult life and there was the same mentality. Now I'm 28 and I could say I had this mentality until I was like 21, 22, 23 maybe, you know. And this is only one aspect. I was also smoking for a while. I was also smoking weed. Smoking weed made me lazy, made me not doing anything with my life. I was just gaming all the time and was still overweight, was still lazy. And basically I was throwing my life away. And basically I blamed everyone and everything but myself, but my own actions of what I'm doing and the results I get. Why am I lazy? I ask myself, why am I so depressed? Why am I so overweight? Why am I having pain all over my body? Why am I sleeping bad, you know? All the thoughts in my head were telling me it's everybody's fault but myself. And fast forward 5-6 years after, I can tell that today I am behind the wheel and I'm the one who's taking control over my life. Whether it's with my overweight problem, now I'm actively going and eating right and training right, which fixed me being lazy and which fixed my mentality a lot. Or whether it's one day I realized I need to stop smoking weed and cigarettes because this is also making me lazy, making my lungs hurt. And my relationship with my parents, it wasn't the best and I didn't know why, you know, until I actually started talking with them, actively started talking with them and tell them stuff, even if I don't feel comfortable about it. Same goes with my siblings. Our relationship wasn't the best until we actively came together and started talking about stuff. So basically that's what it means. It means you need to take control over your life. Not being a victim is the ability to take a look in the mirror and tell yourself truthfully and honestly what you see. Whether if you're overweight, whether if you are smoking, whether if you are eating bad, whether if you are telling yourself bad words which shrinking you down, whether it's a bad quality that you don't like yourself that you might want to change. It can be everything, but it's basically mean that you are looking in the mirror and you are 100% honest with yourself and you take full responsibility for who you are in that mirror. And this is a hard thing to do, you know, not everybody can do it, but I truly believe that this is the key to bettering your life, you know, to bettering your life and really take control over what you become in life. And I know for some people it's harder than others, and some people are wired differently, and some people need more assistance than other people. But overall, at the end of the day, you're gonna need to be there for yourself. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna be there every day, all the time for yourself, and you will be able to lift yourself up every time, right? I can also tell about myself that not all the time I manage to lift myself up from certain situations. But it's the understanding that even in those situations, I am responsible for where I am. Even if I cannot lift myself up at the moment, even if I give up when something is hard for me, I am responsible for that, you know? I am responsible for that. Last video, I gave an example of me leaving, not taking a certain job that I got accepted to. And I had a girlfriend back then, but she was the main reason I didn't take this job. It was a cruise ship job. And after I didn't take the job, we broke up. And I didn't blame her, you know, for didn't take the job or whatever, but it was fully my responsibility. You need to understand that almost everything that happens to you is your responsibility, unless it's something that life throws at you and that you don't have any control over it. Once you start taking responsibility for your own life and for the things you are, you're gonna see that slowly you are able to understand how to direct your life in the right direction wherever you want it to go. Even if it's hard, even if it's long, even if it's exhausting, but you know that you are responsible for everything. And also you need to understand that there is always something you can do about it. And again, I'm talking from experience. Maybe some people won't agree with me, but I thought in my head, I always have something to do regarding my situation that I'm in. You know, and sometimes it is a hard decision, but if I'm overweight, I can just start thinking about go training and losing weight. Or if I want to fix the relationship that I have with my parents or with my siblings, I can actively go and start talking with them about stuff and telling them I want us to talk and I want us to fix the issues that we have between us. If I have issues with my girlfriend or whatever, you know, then I can actively go and say, I take responsibility for how the situation is, if it's your responsibility, right? And you say, but I want us to talk about it and I want to fix it. Once you come to peace with you being responsible for a situation, this is when you are more in control of that situation, and this is where you can analyze the situation in a more mature way and you can really move forward, you know? Maybe you can think of something in your life, you know, that you apply that kind of mentality of victimhood and not necessarily playing an active role in your life in that matter. So maybe you should try and change it, you know, maybe you should try and tell yourself, I am responsible. Take a look in the mirror and say, I am responsible for it. This is how I look at it. Try to look at it from a 100% truthful lens, you know. I'm responsible for that situation and no one else is. How do I fix it from here? If you're gonna look for answers in other places besides yourself, you're gonna fall into a pit hole with no end. You gotta take the wheel of your life and start going forward, you know? And this mentality also applies to other things in life. For example, if you wanna open a new business or if you wanna start something new, you know? You can always do it by yourself. You can always get up and you can always start that new business. You can always start that YouTube channel. You can always start that new idea that you always had, you know, regardless of what others think and do. If you let others people's thoughts on you affect your actions, then you're just chained to what they say about you and you're never gonna be able to move forward or climb up, you know. You're always gonna have that feeling that someone is just pulling you down, you know, but that someone is actually you. It's only you versus you. It's only you versus you. You is your only competitor, you know. And also every day I feel like we have to make that choice again and again. I always say in the videos that everything is a daily work. If someone tells you otherwise, he is just a liar. Everything is daily work. Every day we need to wake up and choose that today we're gonna actively move forward. We are actively taking responsibility for how our day will look like. We can wake up every day and say, okay, today I'm not going to train. Today I'm gonna eat shit. Today I'm gonna treat everybody with anger or whatever, you know. And this is how your day will look, and eventually this is how your life will look. It's a brick by brick, you know. Eventually the wall you built depends on the small bricks that you put. Or you can wake up and say, okay, today is a good day. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna eat good. I'm gonna treat myself right. I'm gonna treat everybody's right. I'm gonna smile. Life is good. The sun is shining. You're actively taking control over your life. Maybe you're gonna start this thing that you always wanted to start, and eventually you're gonna see that the wall you build is the wall that actually benefits your life. And by the time you know this, you're gonna see you're gonna be a different person. Yeah, so I guess my tip from me to you today would be to just literally start and be active player in your life. Even if it's the smallest thing that you wanted to start, but you didn't, or it's the smallest thing that you blame others for, it can be anything. But if it's the smallest thing, losing weight, relationship with other people, bad things that happen to you that are not what life throws at you and are your responsibility, then maybe start to actively notice them and actively push towards the other side. And again, it's a daily work and it is hard in the beginning, but eventually you're gonna get to a point where you are in the front seat, driving the car and your life towards a better place. That's what happens to me. And one time I was in a very dark place in the bottom, and now I can say that I'm in a really, really better place. And it's a process and it takes time. It will take years, it's not taking a day, not 2 days. It will take years. It will take all of the energy you have. It will take all of the time you have, and it will take all of the mental capacity you have. But you need to do it for yourself. You need to do it for your future and for your life. Yeah, so this is it. But I hope you have a good day today, and I'm gonna go start my day. So if you're not subscribed yet, please do, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.